When exactly are we supposed to start thinning our seedlings? The answer is a lot sooner than you think. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about when to thin your seedlings and how to do it the right way. These are my seedlings. I have multiple seedlings in a space, so they are pretty overcrowded right now. What's saving me is that I have started fertilizing, so they all have enough nutrients at this stage because I'm giving them nutrients. But sooner or later, they're gonna start competing for those nutrients. So I want to basically thin these to where I only keep the strongest one. So that is the goal when you do this. You want to end up with one seedling per cell so that it's not competing with anything. The big question is, when are you supposed to get rid of all of these extra seedlings that you planted? And the answer is as soon as you see the first true leaf come up. So for example, in this tray, I have a mixture of broccoli and collard green plants, and the true leaves do not look like these little floppy, double-lobed dome-shaped leaves. They look more like this. That little leaf growing in the middle of the cotyledons, that is the true leaf right there. That is basically your cue to start thinning because they are about to go into real deal production. But the next question is exactly how do you do it the right way? When you're actually ready to cut, I'm gonna go ahead and grab your scissors. The first thing that I'm noticing, especially with this little guy, is we want to get rid of anything that looks sad and droopy. I don't even know how this happened, but this is not a strong seedling, so we're going to want to get rid of this one. You want to just snip off the stem at the soil line, right? You don't really want to yank these seedlings up because right now everything's planted so closely that the roots are going to be kind of intertangled with the other seedlings. If you yank it up, you're pretty much going to damage the root system of the one you want to save. So all you have to do is just come in right at the soil level and snip it off. This one is like weird and short and deformed. I don't know what's going on with that one, but we're definitely gonna cut it. Who gets to live and who gets to die? A problem I have in my tray right now is a lot of my seedlings are leggy. I accidentally raised my grow light higher than it should have been, and my seedlings stretched to reach the light. We're definitely gonna wanna thin those out. And on this side, it's pretty easy. Got one that could be a little bit more upright. It's leaning a little bit, but this one is a little bit more leggy, so I'm gonna keep this short, stocky one here. We also wanna get rid of any seedlings that just look like they have really skinny stems. Those are gonna be the weaker ones. All three of these are kind of leaning a little bit, but the tallest one, you probably can't see it on camera, but it actually does have the thicker stem and it is more upright than these shorter ones that are leaning a bit. So this is one of those cases where if one is starting to look a little bit more leggy, but it actually has the stronger leaf appearance, stronger stem appearance, and maybe it just developed a little bit faster than these other two, I'm gonna get rid of the other ones and keep that stronger, taller one. Snip, snip. If you see any leaves curling up or any leaf damage in general, definitely want to get rid of those. This is a good example here. I don't know what happened to the other part of this cotyledon leaf, but it just looks crazy and deformed, so this seedling I would definitely get rid of. This is what the finished product looks like. I kept everything that was upright, stocky, with thick stems, and no leaf damage. So now they don't have to compete with these losers. If I come from this angle, you can see towards the back here, some of these are just taller and leggy, and that's okay. I pretty much just chose the best one of the bunch. So if I had to pick one tray for you guys to model as maybe like your gold standard, I would say this one. None of them are leaning. The stems look pretty strong. I don't have any leaf damage at the top. Yeah, these were definitely the winners. These were the ones to keep. I know that a lot of gardeners in the South don't actually start their seeds indoors because a lot of stuff you can just direct sow, especially if we're talking about like spinach, lettuce, beets, stuff like that. But my whole thing is just that our growing season is so short and we're already forecasted to have a hotter than average winter and fall season. There's gonna be less room for error. We're supposed to get wild swings between frosts and freezes and warm weather. So for me personally, I like to start some things indoors just to have like an insurance policy, because if I grow these up as healthy transplants and then I put them in the garden and then we have a bad day or a bad week and they die, maybe I didn't get to protect them as well, I can always just go in my house and pick another transplant, put it in the garden and start over. No harm, no foul, right? I pick up right where I left off. So that is the reason that I'm doing this, and why I think it's so important to learn how to start seeds indoors, learn how to water them well, learn how to fertilize them, learn how to thin them, because our optimal growing period, y'all, is really like October to November, maybe December if you're growing things that like a little light frost like beets. But once that deep freeze hits, you really don't want to be out here. But that was basically it, y'all. If you're starting your seeds indoors and it's almost time to thin them, you know, around maybe like the 2 to 3 week mark when you see those true leaves, this video will definitely help you out. But until next time, happy gardening.